So the Citi Strata Premier credit card might be the most underrated travel credit card on the market. And today I want to dive into all the details that we need to know about this card, whether it's the spending categories, the annual fee, or all the little perks inside of this card that I truly believe separates it from some of the other similar cards on the market. Once we explore all the key points that we need to know about this card before applying, I do want to highlight some side-by-side comparisons to other similar cards on the market. This will help us identify where this Citi card really performs well versus where you might be better off going with another travel-based credit card depending on what you're looking for. With all that being said, let's dive into an in-depth review of the Citi Strata Premier credit card. So the first thing that most people wonder with credit cards is there an annual fee involved? And with the Citi Strata Premier card, there is going to be an annual fee of $95. However, compared to other similar cards on the market, that's right where we want to be. I should also mention that currently the sign-up bonus for the card is if you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months of carrying it, you can earn 75,000 points in the Citi portal. So between the annual fee and the sign-up bonus, the Citi Strata is blending in very well with these other cards on the market, but I do want to highlight some key things with the spending categories now. Taking a look at these spending categories, we can see that currently you're able to earn 10 times points back on all of your hotel purchases, rental cars, and attractions purchased through the Citi travel portal. This spending category alone makes this card stand out compared to a lot of other cards on the market. And look, I know that this might not be here to stay long term, but for the time I've been doing research on credit cards over the past year, I can tell you that this has been a promotion that they've been running. So hopefully it's here to stay long term because 10 times points on some of the key categories is absolutely wild. Aside from that 10 times points, you're also going to be able to earn 3 times points on your hotels and air travel purchases, which wraps up our travel. But now you're also going to be able to earn 3 times points at supermarkets, gas stations, and newly introduced electric vehicle charging stations. And all I can say here is truly just wow. Being able to earn 3 times points back at supermarkets and gas stations is just absolutely insane, especially on a travel-based card. Even with that annual fee of $95, I think it's very justified for some of these awesome spending categories. Especially in 2024, gas prices are going up in price again. Our groceries are very, very expensive. So being able to earn some elevated cash back all on one card, it really makes this card stand out amongst a lot of others. Now we're going to do the side-by-side comparisons later, but without spoiling too much, I think that I have to come out and say that the Citi Strata Premier might have some of the best spending categories for all credit cards, not just travel-based ones. Now with any card before applying, I always recommend reading the fine print, especially when it does come to the spending categories. A lot of times with travel cards, they might advertise these super high spending categories and a lot of cash back, but what they might not tell you is that you need to spend it at a certain place or within a certain portal. Oftentimes this will be advertised. However, a lot of times people will overlook this and might not necessarily realize that when they are spending, they're not getting that extra elevated cash back. In the case of the Citi Strata Premier card, for that 10 times points, it does need to be booked through Citi Travel. But I just want to make sure that if you are under that impression that you can get that 10 times points with every single hotel purchase, that you do realize that it is just through the Citi Travel portal. And once again, this is just a great practice to put into place with any card that you're looking at, not just travel-focused cards, but just truly any card on the entire market. Alright, so that's going to cover us on our sign-up bonus, our annual fee, and our spending categories, but now I want to talk about the statement credit involved with the credit card. We can see right here on the website that each year you'll be able to earn back a $100 statement credit when you book a single hotel stay of $500 or more. Admittedly, I don't think that this is the best statement credit because you do have to spend so much and it is in one stay. Now, I know that you can run up $500 in hotels over the course of different stays throughout the year. However, being in one stay might be more difficult if you are looking to save money and maybe are staying somewhere for 4 nights for that $100 a night. Well, maybe, yeah, you could go upgrade your room and take advantage of that. But for a lot of people, I just recommend not necessarily spending up to hit the statement credit. If you are able to use it, that is awesome, but don't feel like you need to use it in order to get value out of this card. And one way that I always like looking at statement credits is like it's chipping away at the annual fee. Oftentimes they're a little easier to hit with other credit cards, such as just booking a hotel stay and not hitting a certain threshold. But if you are going to be making these extended trips and hit that $500 in a single stay quota, then that's just $100 that's off your annual fee, basically meaning This card's just in your wallet and you get access to those great spending categories without any extra payments. And I just don't want anyone to feel like they have to go make more stays to use this statement credit. Some years you are going to use it, some years you aren't. If you're going to carry the card for a long time, then you're going to get different value out of it every single year. As a whole though, I think that with the Citi Strata Premier, we have a rather affordable annual fee, absolutely awesome spending categories. The statement credit is solid, but I definitely don't think it's the best out there. So those are the big picture items, but I now want to dive into some of these smaller points that might separate this card from others on the market. So the first points I want to draw attention to are on the website found under the Citi Strata Premier card benefits. Looking under the travel section, we can see that statement credit that we just talked about, but another point is that there's 0 foreign transaction fees. Now, this is something that I view as should be included if you are paying for a card and it is a travel-based card, but I never take anything like that for granted. So if you are going to be traveling abroad, having no transaction fees is a huge win. We can also see that there's some travel protection benefits that help with cancellation, delays, lost baggage, or any other issues when you are traveling. And just to highlight this, it should never be taken for granted. With a travel card, I guess it can be more expected to have those extra little benefits. But if you are traveling, having that peace of mind because you sprung for the $95 annual fee card and you used it for your purchases, that's something that can go a long way. And finally, we can see that Citi offers us transfer partners to get a little bit more value when we do use our points for travel. Now, Citi has 19 awesome transfer partners, 14 of which are airlines, 4 of which are hotels, and 1 of which is a retail partner. On top of that, the value of each point is valued at around 1.6 cents per point, which is very respectable in the credit card community. It's definitely not the top with our Amex and Chase points, but there are a lot of cards down below with lesser value. And going back to the transfer partners, I do want to highlight a few of them, the most notable being Emirates, JetBlue, Shop Your Way, Virgin Atlantic, and Wyndham. So Citi has definitely packed a ton of value inside of this card, especially when it comes to travel. There's some smaller perks in the additional benefits section, such as tap pay. You're going to have some authorized users. And finally, you can add this card to your digital wallets. In 2024, that's pretty standard across any credit card out there on the market. But once again, it's nice not to take things for granted and just recognize it as, hey, this is a nice perk. And one last perk found under the other benefits section is that Citi has some special entertainment offers that might allow you to get some VIP tickets or early access to some entertainment when it does come in town near you. This is an awesome perk. A lot of other cards do have this, and I've never used it myself, but if you are someone that loves live entertainment, this could definitely allow you to get a better experience. Now, compared to other cards in the market, I definitely say that the small points might not match up to some of those other cards out there, but as a whole though, between the huge points such as the spending categories and the fee, and all the way down to the smaller points, especially for travel, I think that the Citi Strata Premier is a very well-rounded credit card. So whether you're sold on this credit card yet, or maybe you want a little bit more information, I do want to highlight some key card comparisons to some other credit cards on the market that I think it matches up pretty well against. The first card that comes to mind is the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and the second card is the American Express Green Card. Taking a look at these cards side by side, we know that our Citi card has a $95 annual fee. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is also going to have a $95 annual fee, and then the American Express Green Card is slightly higher at $150. When it comes to statement credits packed inside of the card, we saw that we can get a $100 value each year with our Citi Premier card. With the Chase Sapphire Preferred, we can get a $50 statement credit for a hotel stay, but then with the American Express Green Card, we can get $289 worth of value for some travel benefits with that card. Another consideration to look at are the spending categories for each card. We saw with the Citi Strata Premier, we can get that 10 times points on our hotels, our car rentals, and our attractions. We're also going to be able to get 3 times points back on our air travel, other hotel purchases, dining, gas, supermarket purchase, and electric vehicle stays. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is going to be able to give us 5 times points back on all of our travel purchase through Chase and 2 times points on all of our other travel. We're also going to be able to get 3 times points back on our dining, 3 times points back on our online grocery orders, as well as 3 times points back on our select streaming services. Finally, the American Express Green Card is going to be able to give us 3 times points back on our travel, transit, and dining purchases. We saw earlier that Citi is going to give us access to 19 transfer partners, 14 of which are airlines, 4 of which are for hotels, and 1 of which is a retail partner. Chase is going to offer us 14 transfer partners, 11 of which are for airlines and 3 of which are for hotels. And American Express is going to give us 21 transfer partners, with 18 being airlines and 3 being hotels. One last note here is that for the Citi points, they're valued at around 1.6 cents per point, but with Amex and Chase, those points are worth a little bit more at around 1.8 cents per point, which can go a long way when you are redeeming for travel. On top of that, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is the only card out of these 3 that will give us some extra benefits when we do redeem points for travel. This card will give us a 25% boost on every single point we redeem for travel when we do use this credit card. That means if I have 60,000 points valued at around $600 and I redeem it with my Chase Sapphire Preferred, it can be worth 75,000 points or $750. So if you are someone looking to acquire a ton of points and redeem it just for travel and maybe transfer them out, then that might be a card of interest for that little extra boost you get at the end. I should also mention I'll have in-depth reviews on both other cards. I'll link those down below in the description. As a whole though, I don't think you can go wrong adding the Citi Strata Premier credit card to your wallet. I think that the annual fee is very comparable to other cards out there. You're going to have some fantastic spending categories. The statement credit is certainly respectable, albeit I don't think it's the best. And there's a ton of little perks with this card that really make it stand out and help when you are traveling abroad. Now there's so many other cards out there, as we saw, that do offer so many similar things with slight differences, so definitely be sure to check out what else is out there. But if you are going to go with the Citi Strata Premier, you cannot go wrong with it. And if you're interested in any other credit card review, tips, or tricks video, be sure to go subscribe. I'll have a ton of content coming out with more in-depth reviews and teaching you how to use your points and redeem it for the most when you do travel. Also, let me know down below what your thoughts on the Citi Strata Premier card after watching today's review. I'll see you guys in the next video.